right, y'all, check it out. We got Berger's car back on the lift again. I swear this thing just lives over here now. It lives here. But we got a big race coming up. Memphis is gonna video for us here in just a second. Check this out. Stifflers has hooked Michael up this time with some subframe connectors and a drive shaft safety loop. Guys, take a second to think about this. Now the boys, so Andrew and Berger, are now getting sponsored parts for their cars because they're on the channel so much and they're doing an awesome job. So I'm super proud of those two. So big thank you to Stifflers. We also got some LMR stuff that'll be coming up here real soon. Hanlon has been working with them. So I think it's just awesome, guys. With that being said, I'm gonna walk you guys through this setup here and what we got to do to prepare for it. So we got the car on the rack. One of the issues that we run into with a rack is that we can't really load the car. So you need your car to be loaded, meaning pressure here, there, on all four corners. We don't really have that ability, but what we can do is load the rear end here and then load the front of the car and try to put it in a situation that's very similar. The biggest part of installing subframe connectors is cleaning the metal where you have to weld. So when we first put these on, I'm just gonna put the subframe connectors up here and put nuts on them and bolt it to the seat. What you wanna do is put the new bolts that they supply down through the seat, and that's the way you wanna do this. But we're gonna use it this way right now. It's gonna work out great. Stifflers also offers a fit system. The fit system is what we have on the Carbon Fox, and it is a hell of a subframe connection kit. Now this is more of the budget-friendly kit here. So this is the one that we have. There's the part number if you guys are interested in this kit. And here's your drive shaft safety loop. So that's part number for it. Now the good thing about this safety loop is it just bolts right up to your transmission. So TKX, 5-speed, whatever you got, it's pretty much gonna be universal. It's gonna work great. I have 2 of them in my cars and absolutely love them. But for right now, I wanna show you something on these that I don't know if anybody else is doing, but man, this is nice. So you see these, they look completely black. All right, watch this, here's the secret. They have tabs that have been powder coated over that you pull off, and there's your bare metal, look at that. It also shows you where you need to weld. So if you pull all of this off first, then when you stick it up there on the car, you know exactly where you gotta weld. So I'm gonna go through, pull these things off, get them up on the car, then I'll show you guys exactly how I do it. Memphis, you're doing a good job. Thank you. She didn't want to come out here and video tonight. You didn't want to come video and help your daddy, did you? So these people have been watching you ever since you were little bitty. So you better be nice.
There's another one right here. I'll get it though.
You sure?
Or at least
oh
I'll
yeah,
try.
it is. You got better eyes than me. So on these, the best way to remove it is to get like a pick and start right on the corner and then just push underneath it. See how it's lifting it up? Push all the way down and now push them off. So real fast before we get to installing these things, I want to talk to you guys about why you would need subframe connectors. Obviously, if you have a race car, you want subframe connectors for sure, right? The car's going to twist and everything when it leaves the line. So we understand that in a race car world, but street cars need them as well. So let's go out here and look at the Retro Fox real quick and I'll show you why. Hatches especially need subframe connectors because if you ever pay attention to a hatch car, they're usually cracked. The paint's cracked right up through here. They don't have a lot of rigidity considering the back of the car has basically been cut off. Now a coupe is a little more rigid. So the subframe connectors keep the car from twisting and buckling. Subframe connectors are a very good upgrade for pretty much any Fox body. Seat of the pants, you're not gonna feel it. The car's probably not gonna hook any better on the street. You're not gonna really notice it, but trust me, it does help the car a lot. Now, when you start drag racing, sure, it's gonna help. It's gonna make the car more rigid, make it leave a little more straight, and not wrinkle up the side of your car, especially with hatches. So, that's why you need those. Hit it, don't let go of it, okay? You gotta keep holding it. You gotta be strong. Come on, Memphis, don't be like that. Everybody's watching you on YouTube being hateful. They thought you were such a sweet girl and you don't want to help your daddy video. That's the wrong size. All right, so the floor of this car will pull and twist and move. So if you think, oh, my car is good, you might be surprised when you put subframes on. And it's not very surprising at all to see these things twisted right here. See, this is out of alignment with the frame of the car. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of beating and banging and twisting to make this thing work. But anyway, from here, what we're gonna do is everywhere there's a bare spot where we pull the tape off, we're gonna clean the car right here and put some welds. Guys, don't get too carried away with this. You don't have to run a bead all the way down this thing. I promise you, a few beads about that long, she ain't coming off. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this stuff up and I'll get back to you guys in a minute when Memphis starts welding everything. You wanna weld?
No.
I'll give you guys a tip. Here's what I do. So my old jacket lays in the shop. So I do that if there's any spiders or anything in there, because I don't like spiders. Same thing on your gloves. Let's go ahead, weld up the subframe. I'm just gonna do this one side and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up for you guys. Memphis has gotta go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm hot, I'm tired. She's ready to go to bed. Let's do this. How you gonna shake your head no?
I'm not ready for bed.
You're not ready for bed.
I'm not tired either.
Ouch! Son of a... Gotcha. Memphis, you remember, don't look at, you can shine the camera at it, but you close your eyes. So we'll start up front, we'll weld this front up right here, and then we'll just kind of work our way back. All right, so that welded pretty good. But guys, that's all you need. You don't need to go crazy with your welds, okay? Just keep it simple. If you don't have this tool right here, I don't know, some of you guys probably aren't Milwaukee fans, but this thing is really good for stuff like this because it gets in tight areas, and that's just a Scotch-Brite pad, a greenish blue one, and it works awesome. So let me show you right here. There's a big gap there, so you guys take your time on stuff like that because you can burn through, and you're gonna probably have to do 2 or 3 different rows of welds to get it to connect. So I'm gonna start on the thickest metal, which is the subframe, and I'm gonna weld up with a bead, and then once I do that bead, I'm gonna try to connect that bead that I just welded on the subframe up to the bottom of the car. Okay, if you start welding up here first, you may blow through. It really just depends, whatever you wanna do. All right, guys, that's it. There's no point in videoing all of this. I'll get all this welded up. I'll see you guys after it's all done. I'll probably include this video in with the transmission deal because we have to change the pivot ball stud out on his transmission. I guess I could show you guys that now. This is the clutch fork right here, clutch arm. And see how close it is to the back of the transmission? We don't want that. This thing needs to be more parallel, so it needs to sit about right here. So we need an adjustable pivot ball stud. So we're gonna go ahead and order one of those today, should be in this week, and then we'll get this right. So Berger's gonna pull the transmission out, get all this right. We'll put the drive shaft safety loop in over here, and the new inland drive shaft. So he's got one of these drive shafts come in as well. So we'll get all that done in another video. Got to weld it in up here. We still have to spray paint everything, but you don't need super awesome welds. One thing that I want to remind you guys of, because I know everybody's thinking it, well, Brutal, I'm not a welder. I can't do stuff like that. Guess what, guys? I'm not a welder either. And it's not pretty, but they're in there. I guarantee you, you're not going to rip those things off no matter how hard you try. It'll probably take you longer to cut them off than it took me to weld them on. So that means that they're gonna work. Guys, you can do this. Pick yourself up a cheap little welder from Harbor Freight. That and an air compressor are 2 things that every man needs in their shop, along with a vise. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.